All right, perfect. Let's get started today. And on this Wednesday training, we're going to talk about probably the number one way that people sabotage themselves is through mismanagement or poor management, or maybe they think it's good management of time management. You know, we all have 24 hours in the day. And why does it seem like some people can get just tons of stuff done? And like you see them in a matter of a week, a month, 6 months, a year, and like they've done like all this stuff. And then you look back to where you were a year ago and you wonder, nothing changed. Like what changed? Okay. And how can one person go from 0 to the first leadership rank in 90 days and another could be trying for 5 years? A lot of it has to do with what they do every day. Sometimes we think they're just born, able to sponsor, and they're just naturally talented. And some of it is, how you talk to people and, what your innate skill is before you acquire more skills or you get better. We can all get better, but so much of it is on managing what we're doing every day in our business. And this is a very, very, very big topic for myself, because I've struggled with it a lot, right? Who doesn't, that lives and runs a business and tries to have a life at the same time? The second thing is, I see it in my clients. I've seen it in my team. And I've seen the biggest, I think, reason why people's businesses don't get off the ground. It's because they are letting their life run them and they don't run their business. And they have good intentions. They join a company, they get going, and then like thing after thing after thing after thing after thing after thing happens. And then 20 years later, they're still stuck in the whirlwind and drama of their life. I know this. I've got a team that's like 20 years old, 22 years old. And that I've seen it. I've seen the someday, maybe I will someday. When this happens, I will start. It's just endless. And I see people taking the reason why they are doing this business, their why, and made it the reason why they're not doing their business. Oh, my kids, this or that. I got to run little Mary to this on Monday and Johnny on Tuesday and Mary this on Wednesday. And I got this thing Thursday night and we do this Friday and then all of a sudden every minute of every week is gone. A whole bunch of stuff was in the time slots they could have built their business, but nothing happened. Like nothing happened in order to build the business. And so we realize that, if people say, and this is the truth, if you look back and you open your calendar, if you use one, and if you're not using one, you need to start using one and logging your, like, what's in your time slots, and you look at someone's calendar or you audit. I'd say to my team member who's pissing and moaning about not making any money and growing, I'll say, well, show me your calendar for the last 90 days. Let's see how many prospects you're talking to every day, every week, every month. And there's like silence. I never get a copy of their calendar. Isn't that interesting? So they say a person's priority is in their time spent. What is their priority? And if you look at a calendar, including your own, and it's whatever it's filled with, however people spend their time and their money are how they are telling themselves and the world what their priorities are, like it or not, right? I started my business for network marketing 20 years ago, and I started there were people that joined my team in the first couple of years that how do you want to say this appropriately? We all started at the same time. And let's just say, why did I grow a 6-figure business and they didn't? I was not born natural to do this. I'm a scientist and I am not a salesperson at all. I did not come in here with that. I have a master's degree in nutrition. I have an environmental science degree, is my bachelor's. I'd rather not talk to people during my normal day. I'd rather talk to my cats and my horses and hide in my office. I always would tell my mom, I want to become a scientist so I can go stay in a lab and not talk to anybody. So talking to people and growing this business was not natural for me at all. But I had to decide, I was working full time when I started and I got enough momentum to quit. I'd replaced my income, almost the whole thing, within 6 months. And why? Because of how I managed my time. Okay. And so I'm going to get into I got 10 things to really help you with your business and your time. And is what I'm going to tell you the be all end all of everything? Probably not. But if you can pick up 1 or 2 major nuggets from what I'm telling you and implement it into your business and in your life, I'm hoping you're going to see some benefit and some shifting and some growth in the direction you want to go in. And so that, is kind of like my off the cuff, let's get going sermon. So just so that these recordings some of them I do keep in this community here on Facebook, and the archive is over on YouTube and our Likes to Leads channel. And I'll put that in the comments here as well. There's a lot of training there every Wednesday. There's some training that gets dropped down on the world. And it's exciting. We've got some training I will be announcing here in the very short near future that a friend of mine and we are partnering on, and it's going to help you be able to converse with prospects and communicate that to them about looking at your business, and also what to say to get them started in your business, and also why objections are created and stuff like that, what stems them, how to handle them. And that'll be coming soon, and I've got, time. Again, I look at my time in a certain way, and I will show you how I prioritize things. And so I will be announcing that soon. And I also have some training above here that I will talk even about Facebook ads, because a lot of people, they are spending 3 to 4 hours a day prospecting, especially on the internet, and they are not getting the results. They're reaching out to 20, 30, 40 people a day, and they don't even start a new conversation with somebody about their business or their product. So Facebook ads to me are the ultimate leverage for time management, because Facebook brings prospects to me. I kind of like that. I used to run around this country. I'd be in a new state every day. 4 nights a week, I'd be doing presentations, driving and schlepping my stuff around every single week for years. And I mean, I was gone all the time. And when I wasn't doing that, I was on the phone coaching my team and telling them what to do. And, it was, and then newsletters, and, I was working 80 hours a week in this business of mine. And at first I worked full time, and then, like a regular job. I was a quality engineer. Yeah. How many quality engineers do you know are innate salespeople? That many. 0, 00. So I did other things. I did human resources and, environmental compliance and OSHA compliance. But the job that I was in when I started my network marketing business was quality engineering for a major car manufacturing company in their forklift division. So I worked full time and I started network marketing. And within 6 months, I had enough volume to quit my business. It was like $28,000 a month was my volume within 6 months. And nobody built me, you guys. I hustled my ass. I would do one event a week, to meet new people. And then I was doing 2 to 3 live presentations every week. And that was just at the start. And so, but what happened over time is I grew really fast and then I flatlined for many years. Long story, long time, 8 years, I got stuck. I was doing this with my volume. I got those thummy things on here in my shirt. It's a horse riding shirt. So when we ride, we can have our fingers free, but our hands warm. And I'm just looking, I'm like, woo, designs. So when I started my business, I was like this woman with my hair on fire. And then I got stuck because I started really doing the wrong things in my business. And I'm going to show you some of those lessons here. But when in 2012, I hired a coach and he audited my activities in my business. And we looked at what I was doing with my time. And he said, Jen, I don't know if you know this, but in network marketing, full-time is 20, 25 hours a week. Mind you, I was working like 60 to 80. And he's like, part-timers should be 10 hours plus or minus. He said, so you should be able to break free of this and get to 6 figures on a part-time. You might do a push at maybe 30 hours a week as you're really pushing. He goes, but you should not be working 80-hour weeks. You are wasting a lot of time. You're doing the wrong things. And we need to audit what you're doing. And so what we did was we took my time, no pun intended. We took my time and we looked at what was the 80% of what I was doing that did not make any impact on my bottom line. It made like 20%. That's the whole Pareto principle. 80% of what you do is a result of 20% of your time. So, and then there is 80% of what you do that means nothing. So let me rewind to clarify. 20% of your time of what your efforts are result in 80% of the growth of your business and your team. So you've got to figure out what that 20% is. And I'm going to help you with that, to get you started on it. Because really only you know what makes that grow. Because what one person could do the same thing and it doesn't result in growth, but you can, right? But there's 80% of what you're doing that is not mattering in your business. It's busy work. I was really busy doing a lot of stupid shit that did not make my business grow. It was stuff that did not matter. And I thought it did. Oh, it was the fast way to get burned out, hate your life, get adrenal fatigue, divorced, and lose your house. I'll tell you, it's doing the wrong stuff in your business. I really lost sight of what mattered and what made my team grow. And my company was saying, you got to lead, you got to be the leader now. It's time to lead, Jen. And I thought I was leading and doing leader things and showing them what to do and telling them what to do. And I was actually digging myself in a hole deeper and deeper every month by not doing the activities that was making my team grow, even though I thought it was, because I was told to do those things. Okay. And so when I cut all that out and I focused on the 20% of activity that gets you growing, I broke through the glass ceiling and I made it into the 6-figure income bracket. So I cut my hours in half or more than in half, and I doubled my volume. I'm sure you want to know what that is. So let's go into my ugly slides and I'm going to show you. Again, as you know, this goes back into time management. Why is my stuff ugly? Because I'm going to tell you, if I made you beautiful slides and put images and graphics and layouts and made them look pretty, is it going to convey to you the information better? No, it's not. I've had people, I'm not joking, you know, I market, right? We're marketers. So I'd write emails and I'd have people send back an email I wrote and grammatically pick apart every email that I write and like basically say that I'm a crap ass writer and how I suck. People tell me this. I said, well, I'm going to tell you that email generated about $7,000 to $10,000 of income. When was the last time you sent an email that generated $7,000 to $10,000 of income? Typos don't matter, by the way, and neither do pretty fonts and pretty layouts of your websites and all that other stuff. So my slides are ugly. And the reason is it doesn't teach you any better if I have pretty slides. So me making pretty slides is a waste of my time. And I've got other things to do with my time, like create good content versus pretty slides. So does that make sense? That's one example of time management right there. So I'm also a scientist and an engineer. So my creative background, I could send it to my admin and make him make it pretty or whatever. But you guys, it doesn't matter. You're not going to learn anymore by having pretty slides. Again, a waste of time for me to do it. There's a really good book. Nope, that's not it over there. I'm looking for it. Oh, I thought I had my copy. I've got another one by the same author. No BS Time Management by Dan Kennedy. The Dan Kennedy, if you know Dan Kennedy, is one of the best books to get your rear in gear about this. I will show this to you on the slide here. One of the best books. This will change your life. And in Dan Kennedy style, he says, when you read this book, it's going to change your life and you will not see your time the same anymore ever again. I'm going to tell you, Dan was right. This book is $24. Kindle, it's $18. I recommend the book on this one. You can get the audio book, but don't get the audio book. Get the book. Dan Kennedy is the king of marketing. I won't get into that commercial right now, but this book, No BS Time Management for Entrepreneurs, the no holds barred butt kick or take no prisoners butt kick guide to productivity and sanity. He ain't kidding when he says that in the title. You need this book. And some of this comes from, like, you know, when I had my business audited and I focused on the 20% that made the bottom line, that got me to great 6 figures. Well, then now as I move to 7 figures, there is more that is demanding your time and how do you do it and balance it all. And this is a great place to start with that too, is this book. So there's that. All right. So time management for entrepreneurs. First, we're going to start out. What is an IPA? Some people use this all the time in their network marketing business in their teams. And a lot of people have no idea like what it is, because I coach people and I talk about IPAs and some people stare at me as if I speak a different language. So it's not a beer. It is an income producing activity in your business. So these are actions that you take that directly result. And I'm not saying around the horn result. Your action results in enrollments, orders, and retention and duplication directly. Okay. That is an income producing activity. And I'll tell you right now, you might have some ideas of what you think makes money and grows your team, and then things that don't. So I'm going to go into examples of an income producing activity are like It is always about meeting new people and adding prospects to your pipeline. You know, the greatest piece of advice that I got to getting unstuck in my business for 8 years was, Jen, you need to hit the reset button and start sponsoring and getting your butt out there, meeting new people like you did when you started in 2001. What do you mean? I need to do all this other stuff to manage my business and mentor my team and host trainings and send out newsletters and emails every week and da. No, Jen, you need to go recruit and sponsor like you want them to recruit and sponsor. I was very busy, but I was not doing that. So you meeting new people and adding prospects to your pipeline every day, every week, every month is the #1 income producing activity. And talking to them about your business is also right there with it. Asking for referrals from your happy people in your business, or even outside of that. Following up on prospects that expressed an interest in your business. It's an income producing activity. Going to group or chamber of commerce mixers or networking groups where you're meeting people, okay? Running ads that generate leads. It's one of my favorite ways because you're allowing people to come to you in mass volume, in numbers, versus you chasing them for hours and hours and hours. You set up an ad, people come to you, and then you pick up the ball and you show them your stuff. There's plenty of work to do on this. So then you spend your time that is so precious showing them about your business, your product, blah, blah, blah. Growing your social media if you're enrolling them. So if you are on internet social media sites, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever is out there, Telegram, there's a million of them. If you're on those platforms and you're building your social media following and you have not enrolled anybody off those platforms in the last 2 weeks, you're wasting your time. If you're enrolling less than this many people in the last 90 days off of your social media, it's not a good use of your time, especially if you're posting 5 times a day and taking pictures and creating videos and doing all this stuff. If you're not enrolling at least 1 to 2 people a week off your social media, it's not a good use of your time. And a lot of people think it is. I'm building my brand. I'm going to go build my brand today. I'm going to spend 6 hours on the Facebook. Not a good use of your time. Okay. It's not an IPA. Sponsoring is the ultimate IPA is sponsoring. So, and getting people to order that we're not going to order already. Okay. Hosting live in-person events or Zoom events, virtual digital events with new prospects, for new prospects, with new prospects. And I will talk about leveraging your time in another slide. Emailing prospects and texting prospects and showing your team how to enroll people is an IPA, and showing their people how to enroll and their people how to enroll and their people how to enroll is duplication. So what's not an IPA? Coaching your team for hours and hours a day. Guilty. This person right here is guilty. I thought that's what you did. You're a leader now. Now you got to lead and teach and coach. Talking to your leaders on the phone every day. If you're spending more than 5 minutes talking to them, what are you doing? Creating beautiful newsletters and graphics for social media is not an income producing activity. It's a busy work activity. Hire somebody to do it. Most companies have services, or I call them like parasite companies, that sell marketing materials that support your company or your product. Go use their stuff. Don't create your own stuff. Don't create your own PowerPoints. Ask your upline if they got good stuff. Ask Crossline if they got good stuff. Find out if these parasite companies are available for your company that sell already done templates and graphics and media. Good use of your time. Bad use of your time is you making them yourself. Organizing your office is a bad waste of your time. I'm not too bad, but you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I moved a year ago and my office is not totally unpacked. It's just not a good use of my time. I'll have some time at some point, but not today. Creating new training for your business builders is typically not a good use of your time unless it took 5 minutes. You know, creating manuals and systems. I can guarantee that there's somebody out there that's already created it, and you might need to create an addendum. But in general, unless you're the top leader, you know, creating this stuff, it's typically not a good use of your time. I'll tell you why. They're not going to use it anyways. Your team's not going to use it anyways. Creating new systems for product education. There's probably enough out there that you could use and find. Spend your time finding product education that you can use. And I'll talk about this later, versus you creating it yourself. No offense, you're not that important. You don't need to create it all so uniquely for yourself. I'm just going to tell you that is a great waste of your time. Running Facebook groups is one of the biggest ultimate sucks of energy. I'll tell you, people ask me, why don't you, have a massive social presence, even for the coaching that I do? Because I run ads. I talk to people, and my team talks to people. We get them started in our program. I have been teaching Facebook ads for 6 years. I finally created this Facebook group last December. 3 months ago, we're already at like 1,300 people or something like that, close to that. It's because running a Facebook group is an incredible time suck that is really, no offense to you, you're probably watching this in the group, but it is if you don't have the spare time to do it, or you don't have somebody to run it, it is a massive pit of time, like to do a Facebook group. It's like having another spouse or a child. It's, oh my God, it's terrible to run a good Facebook group. And doing the presentations for your team forever and not leveraging what I call the I do, we do, you do method. I do it, then we do it together. Now it's your turn to do it, and I watch. When you do it that way, your team is flying out of the nest really fast. I made a huge mistake because I was so desperate for volume and growth. I thought that doing my own, you know, my team had me coming and doing their presentations even years after they'd enrolled. Well, that was dumb. That was a bad waste of my time. The biggest time management tip I can give you is this, especially as your team grows, is having boundaries with your time. And again, that No BS time management book, hands down, is going to really help you identify what your boundaries are and what you're worth and I talk about that actually here, what you're worth and what your time is worth. But having boundaries on what controls and consumes your time is very, very important. And there is one thing, there's a movie I'm actually going to recommend. Let me grab it here. It's a movie that wasn't super popular, but I feel like it is a really good movie for this purpose, illustrating. The movie is called In Time, and it's actually over 10 years old now. Watch this movie, and it really puts you into perspective of how precious your time is. There's one thing that we can't get back, and it's our time. When you spend your time on anything, you've given a portion of your life away that you can never get back. And I don't want to put the trailer on this. I'm going to close this tab. In Time. That's the name of the movie. Okay. Really good movie. I'm going to shut that down. But you cannot get your time back. And when I have people, or I do something in my life that is wasting my time, like I can't even begin to go, like somebody who has got drama and they're telling me all about their drama. Or last night, Monty and I went to go get our phones re-switched back to Verizon from Spectrum, which is an awful platform for phone. And we're in this place for 2 hours. It is a waste of my time and it drives me bananas. I just lost 2 hours of my life that I can't get back. So being really clear on your boundaries of whom you spend your time with. Is that person lifting you up, giving you energy? Is it somebody that is adding value to your life? Enjoyment and that feeling of oxytocin, right? When you are hanging out together, or is that person sucking you dry and taking from you? Not a good use of your time. That boundary needs to be severed. Bam. What you're doing, where you're doing, and when you're doing this. Saying no to things that are not adding to your happiness, your team growth, your quality family time, the things that make you happy, and what your goals are. Get rid of it. Tell people no. It's like, no. This is a really big deal. If you have a birthday party invite to someone that you don't even really know, and you're like, why? You don't go. Send love and send a present with somebody else. Okay. If you have a wedding of somebody that you don't even know, you never met in your life, and then you get invited to that wedding, and it's going to take a week of a weekend of your time, and it's not going to add value to your life, don't go. Do other things that are going to make you happy. But if going and seeing your family and it's a very important thing for you to do, yes, then go. But don't do things that you feel you should. Do things that you want. Should, if you feel you should do something, that means you need to say no. Okay, big deal. My second time management tip is know what makes you money and what does not. If it doesn't directly make money for you, don't do it. And I'm talking about your business now. I'm not talking about other things, I'm talking about your business, running your business. So if I'm sitting here and I spend, my day painting my walls and decorating, it might be a good use of my time if it makes me feel in a way that, I want to make more money and it makes me happy. But if it is something that I could, doesn't really matter, then I shouldn't do it, So, and again, coaching your team endless hours on end and telling them how to do it is not a good use of your time. Okay. So it doesn't directly make your money, then don't do it. The third one is stop doing one-on-ones. Actually, let me go back here. I have a lot to do every day. I have 2 corporations I run, and it's me. And I have a house. I have horses that I train every day, and that's not including my family or Monty or anything like that. How do I decide when I sit down at my desk with the 5 million things I need to do every day? What do I do? And I make a little list, and I look at the list and I'm like, which of these things directly brings money into my bank account? And if it doesn't directly bring money into my bank account, I don't do it. Some of you know me personally, and I've got little projects that I've got actually listed on that board right behind me. It's a whiteboard that have been sitting on that board for 6 months. You know why? Because those don't directly bring income into my bottom line. I make a list. I sit at my desk here right now. What makes me money? I do those things until I don't go to bed till I do those things. So you've got to know, when you look at that stuff, that makes me money and deposits money in my account. That deposits money in my account every week. I have evidence of that. That does not. That goes to the bottom of the priority list. If you get the things done that make you money directly, then you can get to the things that don't. And if that list at the bottom doesn't get done, and it doesn't get done, and it doesn't get done, and it doesn't get done, either A, hire it out for somebody to do it for you, or B, put in a big long day to get it done on a time like maybe a weekend day, or don't do it. Maybe it's not that important. Okay. So anyways, third time management tip, stop doing one-on-ones. I got my butt kicked on this one, and it is a big thing. Consolidate and leverage your prospecting, your group coaching, your launches, your new builder launches, your team meetings into the like no more one-on-ones. I used to do a ton of coffee meetings and Panera meetings, and I would go meet with my team, like driving. So where I lived, the closest place for a team meeting was a half hour away. Most of my team was 45 minutes to an hour and a half away. So I'd go meet with them. That was a bad idea of time, and when I would go meet with a single prospect, unless it was a really big person, a big connection in a network to lead me to other people in big networks. But in general, I advise against it. So you could do 10 one-on-ones, which is 10 hours, or you can do 10-person one-on-ones, like the group of 10. It's kind of trying to be clever there, and I kind of failed. And it's 1 hour. So when you're doing things with your team or prospecting or stuff like that, it's, even doing like coaching, virtual Zooms, get them going as soon as possible into the groups. And that's your culture. You may do a one-on-one just to really connect with that person. And then you say, great, and you bundle people together. People that got started this month get bundled together. People that got started last month get bundled together, and you create these little teams. Okay. And then you have maybe a bigger group. And then I'm going to talk more about that in a second, what you do, but stop doing one-on-ones. It's really important. The fourth time management tip is block out your time for your personal things that recharge you and keep you loving what you do and that you love to do as well. They got to go on your calendar. My problem is not doing the work. My problem is the other side. It's overworking. I'll work like from sun up to sundown, and that's my problem. But you can't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not expect to hit the wall and get burned out. And then no matter what you do, won't grow your business. This is my hardest lesson right here, is not doing the right things that make me money and working too hard. Because if it got harder and harder, and the less growth I saw, the more I pushed, the more I thought I was working, the more coaching I was doing, the more presenting for other people I was doing, and the more I was not growing. And I did that for 8 years, and I was stuck. So the recharge time is very important. So block out your calendar, literally block it out, different colors, whatever you want to do. And you can kind of see, I got some, holding blocks on things, and block out your time. Your first priority is whatever really charges you. Prayer, meditation, your spiritual stuff, whatever helps keep you, whatever, right? That goes on here, whatever you need to do for that. Some people, it's morning prayer and Bible time. Other people, it's a yoga practice. Other people, they meditate in the afternoon because they know that's when they need to do it. So they're sane, whatever, for me, it's my horses is like moving meditation, it's important. It's the first thing. Now, mind you, just be using your common sense. It can't be like 3/4 of your day, by the way. Okay. Secondly, is your spouse or your partner. If you don't have a partner or spouse or whoever that important person in your life is not a priority, and I'm not saying you need to put them in every day, like 3 hours a day, but whatever activities that you are really important for your partner and that in life, that needs to happen. If I asked you, when was your last date with your husband or wife or whatever, and you can't remember, you got a problem. It's important to take the time out and nurture that, because guess what? You get divorced or you break up, and that sucks. So especially if you've got a family, a lot of people put their kids in there. Most people, that they put these priorities in the opposite order. They make work their first priority, their kids their second priority, their spouse their third priority, and their whatever juices them up their fourth priority. And that's what most people do, but you got to flip it. Because if you have no home foundation and you're unhappy and your spouse is unhappy, and then how are you going to manage stuff and have a great place for your children to grow up? You don't. So you can't put the kids before the spouse, because the kids are going to watch what's happening in the dynamic of the relationship with you and your spouse or your partner, whatever. You know, Monty and I aren't married, so he's my partner. You know, maybe I'm his partner. Maybe I'm his pet. He keeps me, you know, but all joking aside, you know, like, you know, I, even with his daughter, I look at how she sees Monty and I interact is really important for her life and the relationships she's going to have. If he and I were fighting all the time and at odds and not supporting each other, she sees that. And then that's not good, right? So you show your children how to be by doing, not just talking. And same with your team. What's the fastest way to get your team sponsoring? Is for you to sponsor and they see you sponsor. So the fourth thing is your work. And so when you're doing your calendar, put in these things, block them out, you know, and then the hours you work your regular biz job, if you have one, or business, and then you put in your blocks of when you're going to work your network marketing business, and then you stick to this. Fifth time management tip is track what you're doing for your business every day. I teach this thing called endless success horizon, where you put on a whiteboard your goal and where you start, and there's a line that goes from point A to point B, and you write down on this board or paper, like everything you do every day, and you date it. What did you do to contribute to the growth of your business? If you don't do it that way, you can do it on a calendar. I used to carry those for a long time. I had a big calendar that I would block people in time, and I wrote it out. And you write out, what are you doing every day to grow your business every single day? Even if you took a day off, you write, I took a day off to recharge. You know, you're accountable every day, logging what you're doing. Most stuck builders think they're doing income producing activities every day. When they track them, they realize they're not doing them as often as they thought. I've had many conversations with my own team who is saying that they have no growth in their business and they don't know what they're doing and all this other stuff. And they're working so hard in their business. And I say, please get me what you're doing. I want to know so I can help you figure out what's not working. And I find out that they maybe did one presentation in the last 90 days, and they haven't done a follow-up call in 2 weeks, and they realize they're not doing anything. So track what you do every day. I watched a video on, you know, how to open conversations. I met with the owner of a building that allows me to do live classes inside of it, or presentations, or whatever you do every day. Log it. Very important. Watching this training should go on that list. Watch time management training, going to implement 1, 2, 3. When you're done watching this, I encourage you to write down the top 3 things and implement those things. And it might be even just one thing. I know myself, if I walk away from, like when I even get riding lessons for my horses, I don't like instructors that throw 3,000 things to me. I want to get one concept, because I figure if I ride every week and I get one concept every week, within 6 months, I've got all these new concepts, 24 new concepts. Wow, that's amazing, right? So out of this training, pull out 3 things and promise yourself to implement hard one. Not hard, like it's hard, it's not negotiable, one. And then do the second one and do the third one. Time management tip number 6, don't go at it alone. What I mean by that is, as your team builds, share the load. You're not that important that you need to run the whole show. I'm sorry, get over it. If you think you need to do it all yourself and nobody can do it as good as you need some therapy. I'm just telling you, you got to delegate. You're not that important. I'm just saying, I'm not either. You know, I'm delegating a lot. In my team that I have running, even with my coaching business, there's 5 outside of me. 5. We just brought on another person. It's not just Jen's show. Bang, banging my drum. I'm just banging my drum. No, I'm not. I have Lorenzo and Lisa and Patty and Monty and Russ and Laura. There's 6. 5 just became 6 last weekend. Because I can't do it all myself. Can I do all those things that they do? Yes. But you don't need to do them. You do what you are best at. And running Facebook groups, newsletter content, lead follow-up, live presentations, team hub coaching, social media presence, all of that could be shared with your team. You don't need to do it all. Or hire. And I'll talk a little bit about that. Now, the 7th management tip is hiring help. Now, what I mean by this one here, don't going at it alone. You and your team are working together, sharing the load. Now, what I'm talking about here in number 7 is hiring help for money. Okay, cash exchange. By the way, it's a tax write-off. So hire help. Busy moms, you might need to have help come in. I know a lot of women who I just am in awe of, that homeschool, and they got 5 or 6 kids, and they are just amazing. And how on earth do they do it? I don't know. But I know they are incredible time blockers, and they also get help. They'll have somebody come in, and if you're part of, say, example, I'm just giving you an example. Say in your community, if you're a homeschooling mom and you're full-time at home and you're in a group of other homeschooling moms, why don't you trade, taking over the kids, so a couple times a week you can work your business, and vice versa, they can do their thing. Or bring in somebody, an in-law, a grandparent, a parent, something, hire a sitter to come in to help you grow your business. And how you look at this is, and also here, like, what else would you hire for? What I look at is, is what I am doing, painting my room? Well, I'll just use that example. If I can hire somebody, if I know what I am worth an hour, Dan Kennedy will make you do that exercise, by the way, in the No BS book. If I can hire somebody for less than what I make an hour, I should hire somebody to do it. And so if you really enjoy cleaning your toilet and it gives you life force, clean your toilet. But if it doesn't, figure out somebody else to do it other than you. Hire your kids. Now your kids, providing they're like old enough to clean the toilet. But when you hire your kids, that's a whole new write-off. Talk to your accountant about that for your business. You can deduct your children. licking envelopes, data tracking, outsource that stuff. Hire your children. If you have children, they get them on the payroll. Okay. Talk to your accountant about that. But if that job is something where you could hire somebody for $10, $15 an hour, do it. And have somebody, I had somebody long before I even made six figures come in and help me once or twice a week with newsletters and organizing my stuff, creating spreadsheets, helping me with, all kinds of things, like stuff I needed help administratively. And I hired that person and I paid that person $10 an hour. And she was like amazing. The 8th type management tip is knowing what you're worth. And that Dan Kennedy book, the No BS Time Management book, will actually have you calculate what you are worth. And I know it's worth now, but the first time I ever did it 6 years ago, I was worth $250 an hour. And how you do this was track how many hours you're working in a month in your business. Look at your check. Whatever your check is, divide it by those hours, and that's what you're worth. And if you want to cry at that number, you know you have a time management problem. Like I did that once with somebody and it really ticked them off. They were complaining they weren't making more money. And I said, well, how many hours did you work your business last week or month? About 5. Well, how much was your check? It's about 300. Okay, so you worked 5 hours and made $300. And I took out the calculator. So 300 divided by 5, you just got paid $60 an hour. You want to make more money, you put in more hours, like IPA kind of hours. She didn't like that. She just thought it was magically going to grow. And on the other side of it, if you're putting in 80 hours a week and your check is like, $500. So if you've got 80 hours times 4 weeks, 320 hours a month, divided by your check is 500. Ooh, that's a bad number. You don't even want to know what this number is. This is a reality though. I'll give an example. When I was working 80 hours a week, my check was about $5,000 a month. What is 8 times 32? I was making $15 an hour, $15.63. When I was working 80-hour weeks, making $5,000 a month, being stupid with my time, I was making $15 an hour and 63 cents. That is not glorious. And that is not join my Freedom Network marketing business and make $15 an hour. Stupid, hard-headed. So if the number is not in alignment and what you want, it's time for a time management overhaul. You might need help with this. You might need somebody from the outside to help you with it, right? The 9th time management tip, and I got one more after this, outsource your team training. Oh, Lordy. This was one of the biggest things ever. If you don't hear me on anything, hear me on this. I thought that I had to train my own team all the time. And it was one of the biggest time sucks. And when I was working with that coach in 2012, one of the things he said was his secrets is when he was building big, he outsourced his training to a third-party trainer that was an industry trainer. And I'm going to tell you, you cannot be the recruiter, the coach, the trainer, the retainer, and the launcher, and the mom, and the spouse, and the cleaning lady, and get to your goals and not go crazy in the same time. One of the greatest things I did in my business was outsource my team training. and plugged people in my team into a third-party resources and training. Whether that it could be an industry trainer, it could be your upline has a training program, it could be something in your company that offers, but do not do all of the training yourself. It literally, like when I dropped that responsibility and turned around and started enrolling, we were enrolling 40 people a month again. Magically, my team grew. Can you imagine? But if anybody wanted, to know how to do anything, this is the last tip I'm going to give you, is I plugged people into a third-party trainer. I was not the expert trainer anymore. I took that hat off. Here's physically, I took the hat. I'm an expert trainer. I'm the trainer. I'm going to teach you how to do your business. I took it off, and whew, that was a huge hat to get off of me, but it was great because I love teaching. It's why I'm doing this. I love teaching. Now I actually coach, but then I shouldn't have been doing it. I should have just been enrolling and plugging people into another trainer outside of me. And that's the last tip I'm going to give you, is this 10th one. Create a bank of resources that you have available, whether it's a spreadsheet or whatever you use, and have a bank of resources of things that you refer people to on how to do things. So it could be books or PDFs or audios or videos or coaches or whatever it is. Or if you don't have that, you record these yourself. Like if you're talking to somebody, record it and have it as a bank. Record a set of training on your product, your service, your business, and have them available for your team, like a central hub, and put them in Facebook group, tag people in that, put them on a training site, a document, whatever it is. Record it and refer. Or even better, find stuff that's already done and create a reference sheet. Oh, you want to learn how to talk to people? Here it is. Oh, you want to learn how to handle objections? Here's that. You want to know the history of the company? Here's this. You want to know how to do the compensation plan? Here's that. You literally just send stuff to people. You are not doing it. You're not sitting down and teaching a compensation plan with your team. You are recording it once or finding a recording that's already done and then using that forever. Huge tip. Okay. When your team or prospects wants something or has got a question, you always refer them to the tool outside of yourself versus answering it directly. Trust me. I used to be the guru health expert, and people would ask me, I'd be on the phone for hours a day telling people what products to take because I was now like a self-appointed expert. And when I shifted this, it pissed people off. I'd say, okay, do you want to know what to do with warts on your butt? Well, let's open up this reference guide and to page 323, and you see where it says warts on your butt. And this is how you use that reference. And I'd actually make them go get the reference and look at it with me. And then I was showing them how to do it and how to get the answer. At first, they didn't like it because they were used to me telling them what to do. And they liked that. It was too easy for me to do that. And then when I got them using their own references, and then now we didn't even have the Facebook or all these digital tools. It was all paper and in person. So just create a reference sheet of FAQs and most often asked things and put them in a Facebook group or a document, a Google Drive, a shareable, what do they call it, a Sway link or whatever it is, and have that available for people to go get the answers. Record it once or find it once and put it in the spot, and then there it is for that forever. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I know this was a lot, but for some of you, some of these are more important than others. And if you could pick, like I said, pick your top 3 and pick one that you are committed to changing this week and implementing into your life, and then do the second, do the third. and then you can go from there. Okay. But I really hope this was very helpful for you, because time management will make or break your business. And these are some of the things that I've picked up over 20 years in the industry. And what has kept me from growing my business was doing the wrong things. I was working a bazillion hours doing the wrong things. I was busy. That to me, I love cussing, just me. I like to swear. But the worst, to me, the number one worst 4-letter word you could hear me say, or I hear from people, is busy. I'm so busy. Oh, I literally like want to throat punch somebody when I hear the word busy. So unless I said something like the gas station was busy today, there was like 5 cars lined up at the pump in each pump. That's a different use. But I'm so busy, I didn't get it. No, you chose not to do it. When I hear busy, it's an excuse for, I'm using this excuse of busy as the reason why I'm not doing something. Just saying, I hate busy. So if you're in my life, don't use busy. I'm just telling you, unless you're talking about a traffic jam or like a highway or the grocery store line is busy. A lot of people there today. But if you're telling me you're busy in your life, I'm going to ignore you. Just saying. We just got to get these priorities right. And when they're right and you're not doing the stuff that doesn't matter, you will grow incredibly so. And if it doesn't help you bring in the bottom line, if you're not enrolling directly as a cause of it, stop doing it. Okay. So until next time, I don't remember what I've got next week. What's next week? I kind of sat down and figured that out yesterday. What causes the I need to think about it objection? It's going to be next week. So stay tuned. I hope this was helpful. If you've put any questions below, I didn't get to see them, I'm sorry. I'll go in and look at those when I'm done with the training. And what is my question for you is, now that we're done, and this was a long one, what was your number one thing that you went, oh my gosh, that you need to work on with time management, or what really got you like thinking? So drop that below, and I will see you guys next week. Talk to you soon. Signing out. Till next time, Jen Springer here at the deck, and I will see you guys later.